to the May 11th, 2015 meeting, public meeting of the Caldwell County Board of Education. It's always good to see a full house, and certainly we know that we're recognizing a lot of young people tonight, as well as teachers and other staff members, and people that are so instrumental in our school system. We are closing in on the end of school here. We have 22 days of school for our traditional schools, and as a matter of fact, the early college, which will be graduating this Friday night, so they are wrapping up right away here. So we're glad you're here tonight, and we look forward to the meeting tonight. I'd like to, at this point, call on our Associate Superintendent for Auxiliary Services, Dr. Jeff Church, to do the invocation for the board.
Good evening. Let us pray. Most Heavenly Father, we thank you for your many blessings. Lord, we thank you for everyone here that wants to make a difference in the lives of students in Caldwell County schools. Lord, we pray your blessings upon this meeting. Pray your blessings upon the decisions that are made. Just thank you and just give you all the praise. In Christ's name we'll pray. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Church. Next item on the agenda is our Pledge of Allegiance, and tonight we have several students from Kings Creek School. If they'll come forward, we have Travis Craig, Jack Kincaid, and Miranda Phillips. If everyone will please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Travis, Jack, and Miranda for being here with us this evening. Next item is the approval of the agenda, and the board has had the agenda for several days here. Do I hear a motion that we approve the agenda as presented?
Make a motion we approve the agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, we're going to delete item 12.1. We'll delete that and postpone it for the next board meeting.
Okay.
And 12.2 as well.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion we approve the agenda as amended.
Is there a second to the to that motion?
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes. Next, we have the approval of the minutes, and the board has had an opportunity to look over the minutes. And do I hear a motion that we approve the minutes for the April 13th, 2015 regular board meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion we approve the minutes of the April 13th board meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that motion passes. Now we have our honors and recognitions period of time, and if you possibly can and can stay for the duration of this, it'll take us 15-20 minutes or so, just so that we can honor everyone. We're so glad that you're here, and we are going to move forward here in just a minute. The board will move down here and welcome those, and I'd like to recognize at this point our Community Relations Director, Mrs. Libby Brown, who will guide us through this phase of our agenda.
Thank you, Chairman Pennell, board members, and Dr. Stone. And as you're coming down, instead of starting with our art gallery today, we're going to start with two community volunteers. Two Robin's Nest volunteers, actually, who led the annual Change for Children campaign in the Caldwell County school system that we recently just finished up. They are Jenny Herman and Joan McKee. So if you'll come forward, they are deserving of recognition for their commitment to Robin's Nest and their organized effort. Congratulations to Jenny and Joan, and to the students of the Caldwell County Schools, the faculty and staff, for the 2015 Robin's Nest campaign total of, this was the total amount we raised this year, $21,633.01. And I'm going to turn the mic over to Joan. I think she has a few words, but I want to let you know that Robin's Nest is a nonprofit agency that helps local children and youth ages 0 to 18 years who have been severely physically and sexually abused. The donations that we have donated to Robin's Nest will change the future of abused children in Caldwell County. So I'm going to turn this over to Joan.
Dr. Stone said we only have 2 minutes, and I know that he should know Jenny and I can't talk for 2 minutes, so we can talk like 10 minutes. But anyway, we just are so happy to be here. We're very proud to be here, and we thank all of you parents and your children that you encourage them to bring your change to all of our schools this year. We had over 11 schools that did over $1,000 each, which is just phenomenal. And as they said before, we did a grand total of $21,633.01. That's our second largest fundraiser at Robin's Nest. And we're very proud of that. We have two other fundraisers, which is the golf tournament and the spring soiree. And everything that we raise goes to help the children in our county, for what Libby said. So we just appreciate you all helping us in this campaign, all the teachers and the counselors and the students. It's just a phenomenal effort, and we really appreciate it. Jenny.
And there's not a whole lot that I can add to that, except the fact that this campaign it was the 4th year for the campaign, and each year it has grown and grown and grown as the need for the funding, the awareness for the funding is becoming more public, and the good that Robin's Nest does for the children in Caldwell County. And that's why it's such an appropriate fundraiser through the school system, and we just can't thank enough all the people involved. There are people involved in the schools, at the education center, not to mention all the children and the parents, your parents who are behind it and who encourage their own children to participate and bring their coins in. We reward them with various awards afterwards. They have competitions. The creativity in the schools when it comes to fundraisers is phenomenal. So salute to all the schools. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to turn our attention to the Education Center for a few minutes. The Education Center work environment is definitely enriched and brightened each day with the beautiful display of artwork in the Education Center Art Gallery. Congratulations to the student whose artwork has been selected to be included in the Art Gallery this month. And the Art Gallery display that you have seen today as you come into the building this evening will be on display until the first week of June. So if you didn't have a chance to look at every piece, we have 15 pieces up, then please come back and enjoy those art pieces. So students, as I call your name, please come forward and you will receive your recognition. We will start with Gamewell Elementary School. Kalia Mull, 3rd grade. Charmin? She's here? Okay, Susan Sharp, the art teacher, is here. Kalia isn't here, but we have a couple other students from Gamewell Elementary School. Hannah Townsend, 3rd grader, and Samantha Wingbrook. Okay. Granite Falls Elementary School, and I know Chris couldn't be here this evening, but Christy Holler, the assistant principal, is here, and Millie Hefner is the art teacher. We have Addison GANTT, kindergarten student. And I saw Addison earlier. Yes, come on. And another kindergarten student, Kale Ryder. So Kale, next we have Lower Creek Elementary School, and Lee Ann Fry is the principal, and Stephanie Whitty Groeschel is the art teacher. We have Ella FRANQUEMONT. So is Ella here with us? She's a second grader. We have another second grader, Layla Jenkins, and we have a fifth grader, Anna Reeves. Any of those students with us, Leanne? Leanne gets to come on in. We have one more elementary. Hudson Elementary School, and Adam Windmiller is the principal. Adam's here with us, and so is the art teacher, Emily Eisenhower. Melanie Bixler is a... Here comes Melanie. Mom. You can go with her, Mom. Abby King, fifth grader. Is Abby. And Jacob Spears, third grader. There's Jacob. Okay, this is all of our elementary schools. So parents, get out your phones and cameras so you can get a photo.
Yeah, shake everybody's hand, Jake. All right, Jacob, you come on down and start the line. Everybody move down this way a little bit. Start right here. Okay, everybody hold your certificate down where everybody can see it, but not in front of your face. And smile. Okay, keep smiling. So all the camera stuff.
And we will feature one middle school in the art gallery this month. That's Gamewell Middle School, and Dr. Michael Wyatt is principal. He's here. Janet Roman, I think, is also here. She's the art teacher. And we have Gabe Crawford. I saw Gabe earlier. Gabe Crawford, sixth grader. Janet. And Gracie Shook. Gracie is also a sixth grader. Yes.
Go down in the middle.
Thank you to our artists in the Caldwell County Schools. The 2015 North Carolina Gravity Games were bigger, better, and faster than the 4 previous years. Despite the rain, 65 teams showed up to participate in the largest North Carolina Gravity Games event to date, one that is sponsored by Google and Appalachian State University. Congratulations to the Caldwell County school teams that placed in the top 3 in one of the 2 race divisions. So we had more than 3 teams participate, but 3 of our teams placed in the top 3. And remember, this is a statewide event. It keeps growing every year. The first division, kits only division. 3rd place, team number 16, Collettsville School. Craig Styron is principal, and this team was coached by Jennifer Journey, AIG teacher, and Josh Edwards, technology technician. So Josh, if you want to come forward, and if you have any of your team members here, just go ahead and...
This right here was an awesome group of kids. They really banded together as a team. We're going to start with, we had 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, so we'll start with our 6th graders and then move up. Alyssa McMasters, I know she's here. Carson Davis is not here. He's also in the 6th grade. Luke Vines, if Luke's here. Okay. Hey, Luke. Trent Hamby. Hunter Klontz. Is Hunter here? I think he's here. And the driver of this particular car, Tristan Watson. She's in the 8th grade. Tristan, not only did we win 3rd place here, she won the Morganton Regional Soapbox Derby race and is actually heading to Akron, Ohio to race in the national race. So, not only that.
Mr. Styron, you want to come up with the team?
Craig, you want to come up?
Are you want to come up here?
Oh, he's taking pictures.
All right. Team, if y'all will come around and get around Josh.
The Gravity Games is a great activity for young people to participate in a hands-on event that gets them excited about science, technology, and engineering. We had another middle school team place 3rd, but this one's a different division, the engineering division. It's called the Engineer Division. And this is team number 54, William Lenore Middle School. Lisa Vaughn is principal, and it was coached by Beth Fox, PLTW teacher, that's Project Lead the Way teacher, and Michael Sides, science teacher. So I know Beth is here and Lisa is here.
Come on up, Beth.
Beth, come on up, and if you want to introduce, I think you have your driver with you. Okay.
William Lenore Middle School had 4 gravity teams this year. We had 3 in the kit division. We had the engineer division for the first time ever. This is DJ Mangum, a 7th grader at William Lenore Middle School. We put him in a car that was wooden with foam up to his neck, and we fiberglassed around his head, and I'm ever so grateful that his grandmother allowed us to do that. DJ, you're an awfully good sport, and I'm tremendously proud of you. His pit crew, who are not with us, consisted of Noah Laws, 8th grade, Abigail Fulton, 8th grade, Ben Whitener, 8th grade, and Jordan Setzer, who is a 7th grader.
How did it feel like to be kind of cooped up in there with the foam and all? Not scary?
And we had a champion team at the high school level, and that's the Career Center Middle College. Brian Sudreth is the principal, and this team was coached by Brian Thickpen and also by David Brotherton. And I think Mr. Brotherton is here this evening for us. And do you have any, if you'd like to introduce? Come on, guys.
Okay, we had 5 team members. The ones that are here are Jacob Wilson, Andy Mehut, and Chase England, Jordan Dotson, and Nate Bowman, who are not here. Are not here.
Come on down a little bit, gentlemen.
I'm missing this grant.
Oh, sorry. I'm right here, Tracy. That is fine.
And Mr. Brotherton, I'm sorry. There you go. Perfect. Thank you. There we go.
Sorry for that.
Just rather, you would take a step over right there next.
Congratulations.
Now we're going to move to speed in a different area, and that's career technical education. The 50th Annual Skills USA North Carolina State Leadership and Skills Conference was held in Greensboro last month. Over 2,500 students, instructors, industry members, and volunteers were on hand for the largest showcase of career and technical education in the state. Nearly 1,800 high school and post-secondary students competed in over 106 different skills and leadership contests. So we had some students from Caldwell County place in the top 3. We're going to start with South Caldwell, 3rd place winner, Automotive Tool ID, Gavin Reed. And his advisor is Josh Settlemeyer, and I know Mike Peak is here. I don't think Gavin could be here this evening. Mike, do you want to come up and get a certificate? You have to tell us what this means.
You may have a few more certificates too.
Automotive Tool ID.
You just
Yeah. Wes Caldwell, 1st place winner, and his name is Austin Drum. He was the 1st place winner in plumbing in the state. So Austin actually heads to Louisville, Kentucky in June for the 51st Annual National Leadership and Skills Conference, a showcase of career and technical education students. More than 16,000 people will be participating in the national competition. So I know that I thought I saw Austin. Was he here? Okay, maybe I didn't. He was a student star, so thank you. Andy Poole is his principal. Career Center Middle College, North Carolina State Officer George Hicken. And George will also compete in the Nationals. Is George here? He's not here. Okay. First place winners, American Spirit, Brooklyn McCall, Whitney Price, and Kristen Hefner. Frida, are these okay? Any of those in? These young ladies will actually be competing in the national conference in Louisville, Kentucky. And Frida Parker is their advisor. Yes. So we're very proud of them. And second place winners in engineering, Nathan Witt, George Hicken, and Lee Melton. So we have one student with us. Third place winners in crime scene investigation, Jeremiah Cucci, Sage Arguello, Brianna Eckerd. Any of those students here? Extemporaneous speaking, Nick Grozier. And promotional bulletin board, Anna Fowler, Jennifer Yang, and Zach Bailey. Okay. The other advisors on the Career Center Middle College team, we have Kimberly Poole and Guy Myers, who couldn't be with us. So we're glad Frida was here with us this evening. So I think this is it for our CTE students. Okay, next we have FBLA. North Carolina Future Business Leaders of America is a career and technical student organization that serves students who are or who have been enrolled in a business education course. South Caldwell had 13 competitors in the North Carolina FBLA State Leadership Conference held in Greensboro last month also. That was the month for CTE, apparently, for North Carolina. And 3 students placed in the top 5. The following students placed in the top 3 and will represent South Caldwell High School at the FBLA Nationals this June in Chicago. So we have some students who are going to have a really fun summer. Jacob Draymond, second place in computer gaming and simulation. Alexis Williams, third place in hospitality management. Abby Caldwell, third place in hospitality management. And Hatteras Stella, third place in hospitality management. Congratulations on a job well done, and Gina Kincaid is the business and marketing educator at South and the FBLA advisor, and Mike Peak is principal. So good job. Okay, Mallory McGee, sixth grader at Happy Valley School, won the North Carolina Soil and Water Essay Competition. The Soil and Water Contest is sponsored by the North Carolina Association of Soil and Water Conservation Districts and focuses on a different topic each year revolving around the themes of soil, water, and conservation. This year's topic was Wetlands Are Wonderful. Sixth grade students are eligible to participate in 3 areas of the contest: poster, essay, and slideshow. Mallory competed and won at every level of competition: the school competition, the county competition, the district competition, and the state competition for her outstanding essay. She received prize money totaling $425. So congratulations to our state champion, Mallory McGee of Happy Valley School. Is Mallory here?
She's not.
After that great intro. I guess she won't have to recite her essay tonight. Okay. Thank you, Chad. Chad Smith is principal. Congratulations to middle school band directors and band programs throughout the district for their continuation of music excellence and superior performances at the recent North Carolina Music Educators Association Music Performance Adjudication. And remember, last month we did most of our bands and choruses, but our middle school band directors were at a clinic working very hard. And their hard work has paid off. So congratulations to the following. Collinsville School, 7th and 8th grade band received an excellent. Jonathan Beal is the band director and Greg Styron is principal. I don't think Jonathan could be here tonight. But okay. Gamewell Middle School, concert band, Superior. Steve Robison, director, and Dr. Michael Wyatt is the principal. Yeah. Granite Falls Middle School, Superior. Sarah Stafford, band director, and Bill Schreiber is principal. So, I don't have you. If you want to introduce yourselves, are you here representing the band? Okay, go ahead and introduce. And Sarah's with you. So, Sarah, why don't you come up and introduce your students?
Let her introduce you and you all.
Yes.
These are our first 2 trumpet players at Granite Falls, Sarah Klein and Bryson Crump, and they're here to accept the award because they did most of the work.
And her daughter Ellie, her little mascot. Okay, Happy Valley School, 7th and 8th grade band, Superior. Erica Greer, band director, Chad Smith, principal. And I just want to say, I want to give you a little tidbit here. This was the first year Happy Valley School has gone for a grade since 1980. And this was the first Superior for the band in the history of Happy Valley School. William Lenore Middle School, 7th grade band, Superior, and 8th grade band, Superior. Terry Reed is the band director, and he took 2 bands to contest and received Superiors. The 8th grade band also went and performed in the Atlanta Festival competition and received a Superior rating and first place in the Division 1. So, Terry, how many Superiors does this make?
31.
Only 31? And we have Hudson Middle School, 8th grade band, Superior. Leah Spicer is the band director, Hudson Middle School. And we have Andrew Barlow. Andrew is an 8th grade band member. He is representing the Hudson Middle School band this evening because Mrs. Spicer is across the street getting ready for a band concert. So thank you for being here, Andrew. And Bill Griffin is principal.
And he also shares a grandmother. Who's your grandmother, Andrew?
That's right. You look very handsome. Okay, we have one more. And this is a very special award, our Volunteer of the Year. Congratulations to Eugene Goforth, Hudson Elementary volunteer, for being selected the 2015 Caldwell County Schools Volunteer of the Year. Eugene is part of the Watchdogs program, a program at Hudson Elementary School, a one-of-a-kind, school-based father involvement and grandfather involvement program that works to support education and safety. Eugene was recognized at the 20th Annual Volunteer of the Year Luncheon sponsored by Blue Ridge Electric, and they have been sponsors for the last 15 years. So we are very happy for Eugene. If you want to come forward. And that concludes our honors recognition. Would you like to say something?
We're going to let Eugene say a couple words here, if he will, please.
I'd like to thank the Caldwell County School Board of Education, Mr. Windmiller, and the staff at Hudson Elementary School for allowing me to be a part of just trying to maybe help encourage and help kids with reading in first and second grade levels. And it's an honor and privilege to be there each day that I'm there. So thank you again. Okay.
Yeah, thanks up, Eugene. Would
Yes,
you
ma'am.
encourage these other parents to come out and volunteer?
Yes, we need a lot of volunteers.
Thank you.
I think probably the next week or so that when they start the OG test at Hudson Middle School, I volunteer each year for that too, while the kids are taking tests. And it makes for a long day, but it's well worth it. So if it'll help our children, that's great. So thank you again, folks.
Thank you.
We thank you. Now would be an appropriate time if you need to get home for dinner or do homework or get to bed early. We're so grateful that you're here with us this evening. Here, let me get that.
members and Dr. Stone for taking time to recognize our department this time of year. In February, we recognize school counselors. In March, we recognize school social workers. In May is the first week is our school nurses week. And so we decided this year it would be really appropriate to just recognize them all at the end of the year and together, because they do work together. It is a collaborative effort, and it takes all their skills to really work with the whole child, which is what our department is really about. And so in your packet, and I'm not going to go over a lot of it, but just to tell you what is there, you have a student support services description, an overview of what the department does, and on the back page of that, there's a list of programs that fall under the Department of Student Services. You also have a student services administrative hierarchy or flow chart that talks about where the leads are. And I would like to recognize our lead folks just briefly at this time. We have Laura Parnell, who's our lead counselor, if she would stand, and Pam Barber, who's our lead nurse, and Gwen Laws, who is our lead social worker. They do a lot behind the scenes to really make sure that our programs do what they are supposed to do. On the back of that, you'll also see some program and personnel highlights, which you can review at your leisure, but in the interest of time, I just thought that was the easiest way to do that. I've also provided you with our student support services program ratios and staff numbers for this year. Because that's always important when you're looking at allocations, and I certainly want you to know how important it is for us to keep all the folks we have. I did provide some statistics there, which I am going to mention just a few off, because this is why we need the folks that are here, and I'm going to have them all stand in a minute. But if you'll notice that in the 2013-2014 year, we had 143 psychiatric emergencies at school, and that was the leading cause of incident or injury, above sprains or strains or head injuries, lacerations, and fractures. You'll also notice that in that same year we had 314 students diagnosed with a mental health condition, and that was in addition to our ADHD diagnoses, of which we have 1,164 students that have that diagnosis. There's also, as you'll go on, you'll see a lot of different encounters, and I won't cover them all, but I do think it's important to also recognize that Caldwell County has 254 children placed in foster care, many of them that are school-aged. We are serving every day. And we have also had, I think Caldwell County is above the state average and probably in the top 25% for suicides in this county, not just children, but overall. So it is very important that we do address the mental health needs, because I know as our county has made it known, and parents and everyone, is that school safety is very important to everyone. We also, as of this point this year, we have 178 homeless children, and that number continues to rise. But despite all these challenges, for last year, our dropout rate was 1.07%, which was a record low and below the state average of 1.52%. Our graduation rate for that same year was 90.9%, and all of you know that Caldwell County was recognized as one of the top 12 districts, and again, doing better than the state. And the last thing I provided was on the back. There is statistics of our chronically absent students for grades K through 8. We have a collaborative team that's working on that as a target intervention, because attendance is so important to academic success. And those statistics are for last year, and that'll be our baseline year, and I'll be following up with you on some additional information about that. But at this time, I would like to say, before recognizing that our general statute for duties of teachers, the first three things that teachers are supposed to do is: 1, maintain order and discipline; 2, provide for the general well-being of students, which includes taking care of morality and neatness and health. The third item is to provide some medical care to students. So 4th is to teach the students. Without this instructional support services staff that we have here, I don't know how much teaching teachers would get done. I know that they feel that these support teams are important as well. And with that, I would like for our school counselors to stand, the ones that are here, I know many of them had lots of obligations and maybe couldn't get any parking. And then I would like for our school nurses to stand. And I think the school nurse week actually ran from the 6th to the 12th. There's still a day left to hug your nurse. And then Gwen Laws, who is our lead social worker and our homeless liaison, and I don't know if any of our other social workers were able to make it. So with that, I thank you so much for allowing us this time, and we really appreciate your support. I know how lucky we are to have that support. Thank you.
Thanks, Jill.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, first of all, I want to thank all of our support service folks because Jill can say it and many, many times, but we certainly do appreciate everything that you do in the schools, and we do know the success of the school district really is because you're getting the kids ready to learn. So thank you very much for what you do. And enjoy your one more day, nurses. I mean, go out and get those hugs. No, no, I was going to say go out and get those hugs while you're still here. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, for action item tonight, number 1 is the naming of the old William Lenore School facility. At 5:30 this afternoon, we had a public hearing, and we did hear from one member of our public, Mrs. Green, who shared many of the sentiments that was shared at our community meeting at William Lenore. I do know we have some other folks here. I don't know if anyone would like to address the naming of the building. This is not a public hearing time, but I know that I'd hate for you to come out tonight and not have that opportunity. Okay. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I would like to recommend that we call the old William Lenore Middle School facility Friedman Center. Not the Friedman Center, but Friedman Center. F-R-E-E-D-M-A-N Center. Friedman Center.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we name the soon-to-be old William Lenore School facility the Friedman Center?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion. We rename the old William Lenore facility Friedman Center.
Did I say the? Not supposed to be the. Friedman Center. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions? All those in favor of naming the new, the old William Lenore School Friedman Center, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
Thank you. And thank you again to those in the community who came out a couple of months ago and spoke, and certainly Ms. Green, thank you for being here tonight, and anyone else here in support of the William Lenore Friedman Center. Item 2, we have 2 revisions, and I'll take each policy separately. Policy 3400, which is the evaluation of student progress. Basically, this has been out for 1 month comment period. We have received no comments from anyone about it, but it basically changes grades 3 through 12 to the 10-point grading scale. I'd like to recommend approval of the revisions to 3400.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the revisions to policy 3400, evaluation of student progress?
Make a motion that we approve policy 3400 as presented.
Second.
Okay, any comments?
We're just doing that because everyone else is on the 10-point scale, and it helps out our kids if we're also on the 10-point scale, correct?
The high school.
Right. The high schools are required, the
Yeah.
State Department of Public Instruction, but we're going the extra step of making it 3 through 12.
Right.
And yes, it will make us competitive, and our kids who graduate from high school will be a little bit more competitive with others in other states who have a 10-point grading scale.
Any other comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
The second policy is 3450, which is class ranking. And upon the recommendation of our high school principals and some research that we've done, this policy has also been out for a 1 month comment period. We have received no comments. We would like to change the distinctions or the classifications of students with GPA using the Latin terms of cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the revision to policy 3450, which involves class rankings.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve the revision of policy 3450 class rankings as presented.
Is there a second?
Second motion.
Okay, comments, questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Stone. Any other?
That's it tonight.
Next, I'd like to recognize Dr. Trish Johnson, the Associate Superintendent for Human Resource Services.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and Dr. Stone, I have 3 items for your attention this evening, starting with Exhibit 3. Exhibit 3 includes personnel items that are usual and customary, just for your information, requiring no action. Exhibit 4 includes usual and customary personnel items that require action. I respectfully recommend approval of these items as they have been presented to you.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the usual and customary personnel matters as has been presented?
I make a motion that we approve the usual and customary personnel matters as presented.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed.
And the last exhibit is Exhibit 5, and that is transfer request for the 2015-16 school year. I get the opportunity to present this to you each month, but it's the Student Support Services Department that really takes care of. So I know they've been busy during our open enrollment period, along with Dr. Jeff Church, approving the request. So, for the 2015-16 school year, we've had 331 requests during our open enrollment period. Of the 331 requests, 325 meet board established criteria, 6 not meeting criteria. So we respectfully recommend, and also during this period, there was 1 recommendation for revocation of transfer due to student not being in good standing. We respectfully recommend approval of the transfers for the 2015-16 school year as presented. If approved tonight, that brings your total transfer request for the 2015-16 school year to 325.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the 2015-2016 student transfers as has been presented?
I make a motion to approve the 2015-2016 student transfers as presented tonight.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
Thank you.
Next, we'd like to recognize Associate Superintendent for Auxiliary Services, Dr. Jeff Church.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Stone, I have 4 items for your attention tonight. The first is an item from Hudson Middle School, and Dr. Griffin is here with us tonight. Him and his staff have been working on designing a disc golf course at their school in the field out in front of the school, and during that process he had a member of the community come in and provide a donation to help with that. And the donation is an anonymous donation in the amount of $10,000. And I respectfully request that we approve that donation. Any specific questions, Dr. Griffin's here to answer.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the donation for the disc golf course that's being constructed in front of Hudson Middle School?
I make a motion that we approve the donation to Hudson Middle School.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Anything we need to ask Mr. Griffin, Dr. Griffin? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
I just wanted to ask one, not a question about it, but Bill, in looking at going across from 6 to 7, obviously they're crossing that road, the traffic in and out road. But I guess there's no way to get 7 fixed in all in that one spot.
You're referring to the road that dissects our school.
Yes.
Sir. And except for entering school and closing the school, it's really not a very busy road there. For student concerns or safety, we always have a coach out there with anything after school hours. Would be too much traffic there. I think it would be a safe place to do that.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay. Exhibit 8 is a standard Duke Energy site lighting agreement. This is a 10-year agreement with Duke Energies to provide site lighting at the new William Lenore Middle School. And I respectfully approve the request.
Okay. Do I hear a motion from someone in regards to the Duke Energy site lighting agreement request as Dr. Church has presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the site lighting as requested, as presented.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Exhibit 9, I regretfully bring to you, but we have to meet federal law. It's the time of year we have to look at lunch prices for next year, and I'm recommending that a price increase of 10 cents per lunch. This is to comply with Public Law 111-296, Section 205 of the Equity in School Lunch Pricing, and we have no choice in this. We have to, based on federal law. Upon approval, K-5 lunches next school year would be $2.15, and 6-12 lunches would be $2.35. Breakfast, we are not recommending an increase in breakfast prices. So I respectfully request that you approve the lunch increase.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the adjustment to the pricing from the school nutrition department?
Mr. Chairman, I regretfully approve that we adjust the prices 10 cents as presented by Dr. Church.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Now, obviously, it's something we don't want to do, something that we absolutely have to do.
Have to, you do not want to do it.
Question for Mr. Garner, if that's okay.
All right.
Have you noticed any kind of adjustment as far as how many students are taking advantage of lunch in the schools? Any major changes there in the numbers?
It's not super, but we have decreased. And it's hard to put your finger on what exactly it's causing, whether the constant increase in pricing, the whole grain, or lower the service. But all those as a triple whammy has kind of hit us with it. But not even super, but we have had it.
So no increase in money from the state to apply toward that, they just increasing the food to the children.
Any other comments, questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'd already voted on that, haven't we? Okay, so it was just a question after the vote. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Exhibit 10 is community eligibility provision for school lunches. This is actually good news. Dr. Widener and Mr. Garner has been working on this through the Title I funds. This provision, we can have 6 schools in our county that all students, based on this provision, will receive free lunches at the schools. These schools are Gamewell Elementary, Gateway School, Horizon Elementary, Valmead Elementary, West Lenore Elementary, and Whitnell Elementary. So the recommendation will be to approve the community eligibility provision. Any specific questions, guys here and Lisa's here that can answer the questions.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the community eligibility provision as has been outlined and specified by Dr. Church?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the community eligibility provision for the schools as mentioned.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments?
So every kid gets to eat free at these schools. So you don't have to anybody take up any money.
Staffs.
You mean all the students get a free lunch at these schools? They're all qualified for that?
They will all qualify without having to fill out a free lunch form. That's the positive.
Oh.
Gotcha. That'd be beneficial.
That would basically approximately 200 reduced kids and approximately 225 paid kids for the biggest benefits.
Okay, any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Church. Next, we have the Finance Director, Mr. David Johnson.
Mr. Chairman and board members, I have two amendments tonight. Exhibit number 11, budget amendment number 16 for the State Public School Fund is in the amount of $120,577 for State Public School Fund. It includes, through revision number 37, it includes PRC 15 state technology interest, substitute reimbursement costs through February, and the other big chunk of that is for the summer reading camp allocation, which is new money that we received for this year. The budget amendment number 17 is for federal grants fund, and it is in the amount of $22,775.25. If these two amendments are approved tonight as presented, it'll bring the total budget for Caldwell County Schools to $120,580,798.42. It is the recommendation of the Finance Director these be approved as submitted.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the budget amendments to the State Public School Fund as well as the Federal Grant Fund?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve the budget amendments to the state fund and the federal fund as presented.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Any comments, questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
Okay, the second thing I have tonight is exhibit number 12, which is the local current expense allocation request. North Carolina General Statute 115C 429 requires that the local Board of Education adopt and submit a budget request to the county commissioners for their approval. This approval has been presented to the Finance Committee as well. It's been reviewed, and the proposed budget information and has approved a request of $14,992,945. The two primary requests for this are the proposed state mandated teacher salary increase and an increase in the appropriation due to the elimination of the driver's ed funding.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the 2015-2016 local current expense and capital outlay budget request?
I make a motion that we approve the current expense and capital outlay budget request.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Well, I would just reiterate, on behalf of the Finance Committee that we, of course, have had several meetings and reviewed this request. We're still hopeful that Raleigh will see fit to add back or not to eliminate the driver's education funding. That we're very hopeful that that will happen. And I would just want to share too that the request that we're making is actually on top of our 2014-15 request. So we're talking about an increase of what we've already received last year.
Any other comments or questions? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Next item on the agenda is the Board of Trustees appointment to the community college. Each year, the board appoints or reappoints a person to the Community College Technical Institute Board of Trustees. It is that time of the year that we do this again. Dr. Stone, you want to?
Yes, I have before this process usually works like this, you have 4 members who are appointed by the Board of Education to the community college trustees. And generally Ken Boham, the president, and I will talk sometime in May, early May, and we'll talk about the person who is currently in that position, whose term is for to be expanded or not. And Ken and I have an excellent conversation, and he just sings Bill Stone's kudos. He thinks Bill Stone walks on water. He thinks he is certainly, his comments to me has been that Bill is a very active, engaged member of the Board of Trustees, and that Ken fully recommends to us that he would love to have Bill Stone back. So in my conversations with Ken, because I usually do ask about, do they attend? Are they representing Caldwell County Schools? And he said there's nothing, any way at all, that he could not say positive about Bill Stone. So his recommendation to the Board of Education is that Bill does a great job, and he would love to have Bill back for a 4-year term.
Do I hear a nomination from the board for the appointment to the Community College Board of Trustees?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we appoint the Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute Board of Trustees for the next 4 years, William Bill Stone.
I second.
Okay, do we have any other nominations?
I move we close nominations.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, that being the case, since we have taken nominations, do I hear a motion that we approve Bill Stone officially as the member of the Board of Trustees?
I'll say it again.
Well, you were
Mr.
making the
Chairman?
nomination. Okay.
And we need to put the terms too. It will be July 1, 2015 to June 30th, 2019. It's a 4-year term.
I make a motion we appoint to the Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute Board of Trustees for the term of July 1, 2015 through June 30, 2019, Mr. William Bill Stone.
Second motion.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations, Mr. Stone. We appreciate all you do. We know you work hard for education in Caldwell County. You want to make a couple
You have to
comments?
introduce us to that pretty lady you're sitting next to.
We've been together a long time. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to serve and your support. It's highly appreciated. And simply to leave with a comment that our former superintendent used to make, lovingly, you are appreciated. Thank you.
And just in case you didn't know, that's his wife, Pat, beside him. And Bill, your middle initial is S.
Yes, or S.
And it's for?
Stewart.
Stewart, okay. So it's not William Bill, it's William Stewart.
We know him as Bill.
Bill.
Thank you.
Okay.
Congratulations. And Bill, we'll follow up with the letter to Ken, signed by the chairman, making the appointment. So thank you very much.
Next on the agenda, Dr. Stone, do you have anything?
Yeah, just a couple of graduations coming up. Friday night, the early college at 7 o'clock. That's at the Civic Center. Would love to have board members there. Then on May 21st, we have the middle college, and I think that's at the Hub. And then on June the 11th, we have High Brighton West and South. You each have a particular school that you'll be at that graduation. And then try to make it to project graduation 10 o'clock that night. 10 to 3, but come as long as you
stay till 3.
You know, well, stay to 3 as long as you can, but looking forward to it. This is really some 20-some days left of school, so we're kind of winding down, and I believe the next time we meet will be
22 days.
Yeah, it will be. You know, it will be right the last week of school. So.
Okay, our next meeting is going to be here in the boardroom on June the 8th. 2015, beginning at 6 o'clock. And our other meeting of significance will be the special budget meeting, which will take place here at the Ed Center at 5 o'clock on June 29th. Anyone have any other comments or things they want to add?
I move we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Everyone have a great evening.